everyone, I'm Dr. Stephanie from San Diego. You know, while I was working over in India, I came across a stray garden cat that had a pretty bad tick infestation. There weren't tons of them, but the cat was definitely suffering from it. Stepping in to help that cat made me realize just how crucial this information is for every pet owner out there. Now, veterinary medicine isn't my primary field, but that experience really sparked my curiosity, and I've spent a lot of time studying this ever since. Before we dive deep, let's take a quick look at what we're covering today. First, I'm going to share exactly how I rescued that cat. Second, we'll look at the different types of ticks and how they affect cats. And finally, we'll break down the symptoms you need to look out for, along with the best treatments. So, let's get right into it, here on MED-Biq. All right, let's start with how I actually rescued that cat from the ticks. I highly recommend sticking around until the very end of the video because the steps I took are something you might seriously need to know for your own pet one day. Now, make no mistake, ticks are one of the biggest parasitic threats out there. These tiny 8-legged arachnids might look small, but a single bite can actually be fatal for a small animal like a cat, especially if it leads to tick paralysis. Fortunately, there's a lot you can do to prevent these bites and protect your furry friends. So, how do you actually spot these guys? From what I've seen, ticks love targeting areas where they can easily reach the skin, like the ears and the head. While they can occasionally pop up on other furry parts of the body, my hands-on experience showed that about 95% of the ticks on that garden cat were right there in the ears. And here's a pro tip for checking your cat. Sometimes feeling for them with your fingers is way easier than just looking through the fur. If you run your hands over their coat, a tick will feel like a tiny brown or gray bump on the skin. Their actual size depends on how much blood they've already sucked, or how engorged they are. You might also notice the skin looking a little red or irritated around that spot. While they love the head, neck, ears, and feet, giving your cat a good, thorough brushing is a fantastic way to catch them and help brush them out before they cause real trouble. Take a look at this chart. The two main culprits you'll find on cats are paralysis ticks and bush ticks. You might occasionally run across a brown dog tick, but honestly, they much prefer dogs. It's super important to know what you're looking at. For instance, an adult paralysis tick has a hard white body and its legs are all clustered right up near its head. These are the ones we really have to watch out for. With bush ticks and brown dog ticks, their legs are spread out more evenly along the body. You can spot the brown dog tick by the distinctive hexagonal base near its head. Just keep in mind, their size and shape completely change depending on how much they've fed. An unfed tick looks more cone-shaped, but once they're fully fed, they balloon up and look completely engorged. All right, now we are at the most important part of the video, how to actually remove these ticks safely. Ticks carry some nasty diseases, so it's crucial to get them off your cat as soon as possible. Now, when I was dealing with that stray cat back in India, I ran all over looking for a proper tick removal tool, but I couldn't find one anywhere in the local markets. Because of that, I had to use a pair of regular tweezers. But if you have access to a pet shop, twisting them off with a specialized tick removal device is definitely the best and easiest method. Whichever tool you use, you can safely get them out by following these exact steps. First, if you have gloves, put them on. Gently part your cat's fur so you have a completely clear view of the tick. Next, take your tick remover, or tweezers, and slowly slide it right under the tick's body, keeping it flat against your cat's skin. Now, here is the golden rule. Do not squeeze the tick's body, and do not leave the head stuck inside your cat. If you squeeze the body, it can actually force the tick to inject blood back into your pet, which drastically increases the risk of infection. Instead, once you have a firm grasp right at the base, gently twist it in a clockwise direction a few times until it pops right out. Once it's off, take a close look at your cat's skin to make sure the entire tick, including the head, is completely gone. If you're ever nervous about doing this yourself, don't hesitate to call your vet for advice. To wrap things up, wash the area with some pet-friendly soap and water. Then dispose of the tick properly so it doesn't crawl back out. Either drop it in some rubbing alcohol or wrap it securely in a tissue and flush it down the toilet. And of course, don't forget to wash your hands thoroughly afterward. What are the symptoms of a cat tick bite? So, what signs should you be looking out for? If a tick has bitten your cat, you'll usually notice a few localized symptoms first. Keep an eye out for what we call a tick crater, which is a small wound right where the head was attached. The skin around that area might also look red, swollen, or really itchy. And if a cat has a heavy infestation, they can actually lose enough blood to become anemic. So check if their gums look unusually pale. But remember those paralysis ticks we talked about earlier? They release dangerous neurotoxins, meaning you might see severe body-wide symptoms before you even spot the actual tick. If your cat is suffering from tick paralysis, you'll notice a sudden change in their meow. weakness, especially in their hind legs, making them wobbly or reluctant to jump. Dilated pupils. Difficulty swallowing, which causes them to drool or pool saliva. Heavy breathing, vomiting, or regurgitation. If you see any of these paralysis signs, it is a medical emergency, and you need to get your cat to a vet immediately. To wrap things up, there are a few final critical facts that every pet owner absolutely needs to know. First, can ticks actually be fatal to cats? Unfortunately, yes. As we mentioned, paralysis ticks inject a deadly toxin through their saliva, while a heavy infestation of regular bush ticks can drain enough blood to be fatal. And don't assume your pet is safe just because they stay inside. Indoor cats can absolutely get ticks. These pests can hitch a ride into your house on your clothes or on other outdoor pets. Plus, if your indoor cat manages to sneak outside even for a split second, that's more than enough time to pick one up. So, what exactly do they do to your cat? Well, all ticks attach themselves to drink blood, which often causes skin irritation. But remember, paralysis ticks take it a step further by releasing that neurotoxin, which leads to total paralysis and death if it isn't treated immediately. Finally, how long can a tick actually stay on a cat? If your cat isn't on any preventative medication, a tick will happily stay attached for 3 to 6 days until it's completely full. However, if your cat is on a reliable preventative like Bravecto or Revolution Plus, the tick will be killed and drop right off within 24 hours. Knowing these facts can truly save your cat's life, and I really hope this information helps you protect your furry friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Stephanie, and I'll see you next time with another important video right here on MED-Biq. Take care.